Okay, so I said yesterday, it reminded me a little bit. It was a weird press conference with Jim Irsay. It had a little bit of that Trump COVID presser where the people around him were all like, oh, watch out. What's he going to say?
The experts?
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, what do you make of the situation? It feels so impulsive and odd.
Well, the overarching thing is Irsay is very involved. And this goes back to, when they made the decision to pull the plug on Carson Wentz 9 months ago. And he's been very hands-on and I think vocal internally about not being happy with where they are and not wanting to waste the current core players they have, guys like Jonathan Taylor and Quentin Nelson and Shaq Leonard and DeForest Buckner. And so, I think that sort of flowed from the decision to move on from Carson Wentz and trade for Matt Ryan and go all in on older players like Yannick Ngakoue and Steph Gilmore. It's a couple of weeks ago, they make the decision to go to Sam Ehlinger at quarterback with the thought being either we'll have a revelation here or we'll sink to the bottom of the league and be able to fix the quarterback position once and for all in the draft. The decision to fire their offensive coordinator, Marcus Brady, last week, one that I know a lot of the coaches were upset about. They felt like maybe Frank Reich should have done more to stand up for him. And then, of course, the big move yesterday. I've heard over the last, few weeks that Jim Irsay has been asking people connected to the organization for their input. And they had a big reunion about 9 days ago for Tariq Glenn going into the Ring of Honor, where Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning and all those guys were in town. One thing I was able to gather yesterday is he's been enamored of Jeff Saturday for a while. Saturday was at training camp a bunch over the course of the summer. And I guess for better or worse, this gives him a chance to take a trial run with Jeff Saturday and get to see what it looks like with Jeff Saturday as the head coach without fully committing to him yet. That decision, of course, will come in January. But a lot of moving pieces. Could Peyton Manning be involved in the future? What does the quarterback picture look like going forward? Certainly I think there are a ton of unanswered questions as to the way this is going to play out over the next few months.
It does feel like San Francisco and Philadelphia have the most stacked rosters in the NFC. I mean, Dallas has Minnesota, Dallas, maybe a step back. That's why it feels like OBJ giving them a little more juice next to CeeDee Lamb feels like a real thing. Pollard emerging. We like their tight end. OBJ to the Cowboys, it really does feel, Albert, like it's a good fit. He's getting cleared to play here this week, right?
Yeah, and it's the stage, too. Giving him the stage of Dallas and what that would mean and what putting the Cowboys over the top, could add up to him in free agency come March, when he's trying to sort of launch the second phase of his career. I think Dallas, because of their record, would be in the mix here. OBJ 100% saw the benefit last year when it came to his image, the way their team saw him, of being part of a winning program. And I think he probably would have gotten a nice payday if he hadn't gotten hurt in the Super Bowl. So he knows all of that. That's why he's been looking at Buffalo. That's why Green Bay had been a consideration before. That's why Tampa has been one that he's looked at in the past. And Dallas comes into the picture now because they are where they are. They're a very real contender. They've got a couple of stars on defense, and Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs. And they've even been able to ride out their offensive line issue. We all thought that was going to be a big problem when Tyron Smith went down before the season, but Tyler Smith played really well at the left tackle spot. So, it certainly looks to me like there would be a fit there, and the Cowboys would be one of the teams I think he'd consider.
Okay, it's interesting. Justin Fields this weekend, I thought that game, I watched that and I thought to myself, that's 3 straight games where there was some jaw-dropping wow stuff. I thought it was the best loss of the year for a team. What do your sources say about, I didn't love Eberflus. I thought, a defensive coach, they draft a corner and a safety. Come on, Chicago. I watch them. I think they found the guy, right?
Yeah, it certainly feels like it. And I know, having talked to the coaches on that staff over the summer, one of the things that they wanted to do was be very deliberate about building Justin Fields up and do it slowly and do it methodically. And the thinking there was everything happened so fast for him as a rookie. He comes in, they trade up to go and get him, and there's one play caller, then there's another play caller. The coach's job's in jeopardy the whole time. He's in the lineup, he's out of the lineup. They just wanted to sort of slow things down for him a little bit and build an offense for him and not rush anything. And I think you can see it in the way the season's kind of played out here, where early in the year he had some trouble, but They were integrating him into what they wanted to do. They were figuring out what he could do well, and now you're seeing it explode. And to me, like, the blueprint here is what happened in Kansas City and what happened in Buffalo, where you have a guy who is a superior athlete, who's got natural accuracy, who's got a huge arm, who is wildly athletic. You use that stuff to buy him time to develop the other stuff. It worked for Mahomes in Kansas City. It worked for Allen in Buffalo. And that's the blueprint here, which I think is a smart way to do it. And look, like, if you want to talk about, Eberflus's history, I think you have to add in the fact that he's hired an offensive staff that looks like it's really competent. And oh, by the way, he did come from Indianapolis and Dallas. So he saw Andrew Luck in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And before that, in Dallas, he was there when Dak Prescott was a rookie, and they did an awfully good job, Jason Garrett did, of bringing him along as a rookie. So he's seen it before, and now I think you can see that in the way that they've executed the plan with Justin Fields.
Monday Morning quarterback Albert Breer, as always, great stuff, Albert. Thank you so much for your insights. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd, or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.